As a home cook, one of the first things that I really learned how to cook and then explore and play with was soups. Soups can be so easy and also forgiving because you can always add and keep tasting and making it the way that you want it. Today on The Silly Kitchen, I want to show you a really easy, simple potato soup recipe. Let's start by washing a whole bunch of yellow potatoes. Whatever potato you choose, you are welcome to use. But with yellow potatoes, I like them because the skin is really thin and I'm gonna keep the skin on for this particular recipe. If you're using a potato with a darker, harder skin, maybe give those a peel first, a wash, and then take out some of the eyes if you have any. Clean up your potatoes so that they are perfect and ready to cook and eat from that form on. The other thing that you need besides potatoes is a couple of onions. I'm using 3 small to medium onions, just regular yellow onions for this recipe. When it comes to making a soup that you want to blend or puree or soften up after it's done cooking, one thing I will tell you is to try to cut your potatoes and your onions in this particular recipe similar sizes. That way, once you cook them or once they are on the stovetop to be cooked, they're gonna cook at the same time and get soft at the same time, if that makes sense, right? So we don't want one giant big potato and then a bunch of little ones, because those little ones will cook really quickly and fall apart, and then we'll be waiting for that giant potato to still cook all the way through. So try to cut them all the same size. Get yourself your stock pot, pan, whatever you're using. I have a few different kinds that I use for soups, and the amount of potatoes and onions that you want in here is enough that you still have a lot of room for liquid and for steam and for boiling. All right, let's get these in here. Once you have it all in your stock pot, whether it's a short or a tall one, just make sure, like I said, you have a bit of room left. We need to give these potatoes a bunch of salt. Now, don't worry, you don't have to kind of figure out your amounts here because we can always add and season and do more after these cook out. But I find adding your seasoning to the cooking process, you're just gonna get more of that flavor because it's sitting in that salt and pepper for a little bit longer. And we want those basic, beautiful flavors. We need 4 cups of stock. Now, your choice, vegetable or chicken here, whatever you want to do. My vegan, vegetarian friends, obviously, if you want this to be a vegan or vegetarian soup, we are going to stick with veggie stock. You can even top it up a little bit with water. It kind of has the perfect amount in it from what I'm seeing here. It could use maybe a little bit more, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because I think once we close it, the 4 cups should be perfect to kind of let all that steam move around on the top layers and cook everything through. So medium-high heat, we are putting this on for about 30 to 40 minutes, and we will check on it then to see how soft our potatoes have gotten. A few more steps after that. Once you confirm that your potatoes are soft, you are gonna go ahead and use your immersion blender to give it a good blend. Leave it as chunky or blend it to the smoothness that you would like. This is a great time for you to taste test your soup and see if the salt and pepper content is where you like it. And you can go ahead and eat the soup the way it is, just like this. So let's give it a little try. Let's see if it needs anything. Oh, it's hot. I don't think it needs salt. I don't think it needs pepper. I think it is good. However, The way I like to do my potato soup is add a little more velvety, creamy deliciousness to it. So, 2 ingredients that I like to add. First, I am going to add a little bit of good old 2% milk. And I'm just gonna slowly stir it in. And the soup is still really hot, so for the camera I'm doing this off of the stove top, but if you want to do it on top of there, you go ahead. And of course, I just eye out so much of my ingredients, especially when it comes to soups and stews, because it doesn't really matter if you put a 1/4 cup of milk or a 1/2 cup of milk. It's however much creaminess and deliciousness you want to add. My other ingredient is adding some sour cream to this as well. So I'm gonna do 2 dollops of ginormous tablespoons of sour cream, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that all in. Ooh, yeah! For the grand finale, I also want to make sure that this soup looks pretty when I serve it. So the way that I like to do it is get a good helping of soup in my bowl. I'm so hungry. This is gonna be so comforting. Then what I like to do is just take a little bit more sour cream, and I'm just gonna put it on top and make little swirls and swivels so that it looks pretty. Woohoo! That's how you do it. I always want everything to look pretty. I can't let that go to waste. And 2 things. I'm actually gonna put a bit of kielbasa right on top to garnish it. But here's the thing, if you wanna make it a ham and potato soup, just add your ham or kielbasa chunks right in to your soup. I kinda wanted to give it a layered approach where you can do whatever you want. And of course, for the final garnish, some green onion. Isn't that so pretty? But also delicious, and I am hungry, so make your potato soup at home, make it vegan, make it vegetarian, make it full on with ham and cheese and potatoes and sour cream and whatever you want, but at least you have the base and you know how easy it is to make a comforting bowl of delicious potato soup. Thanks for coming by to the Silly Kitchen. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you again soon.